Hi, I'm Morgan.
And I'm Jake, and this is
Neverland Navigation Radio.
And this episode is called Morgan. You've been away at sea.
That's a terrible name for a title.
Yeah, you can look forward to it being called something else.
Something else for sure.
Morgan went on a Disney cruise.
Yeah, my 5th. So now we've done every ship.
Wow.
That was the goal.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome. I'm so jealous.
We went a little out of order. So this last one was the Fantasy, even though the newest one is the Wish, but we did the Wish last October.
Right. Check out our episode on Morgan's experience aboard the Disney Wish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this time aboard the Fantasy. How many days long was your cruise?
7. So the longest Disney cruise that we've ever taken.
That is a deluxe cruise, right?
It's long, yeah. Yeah, but it still goes by in the blink of an eye.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah.
As they say.
And this is the sister ship of the Dream. So we had already been on a ship that was laid out in the same way. So that was kind of cool because it didn't take me any time to learn where stuff was because I had already experienced it, even though it had been a while.
Right.
Not years, but over a year.
You probably had some general sense of orientation.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yes, exactly. And when you would see something on the Fantasy, the D Lounge, you would remember it from the Dream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of this stuff is different and differently themed and differently named, not the D Lounge. The D Lounge is the same on both. But even if the one in the Fantasy is called the Tube, and you just would remember what was there on the Dream. Although now I don't remember what that one was called, but that's okay.
Yeah, I bet it is
same
cool
basic thing.
I always forget about the fact that they're the sister ships.
Yeah.
And maybe a lot of people do, where the layouts are the same. That's kind of an interesting feature of this whole thing.
Yes. Do you... this is a real question because I can't remember. Do you remember if the Treasure is going to be a sister ship of the Wish, or is it completely different?
Oh, I actually don't know.
I don't know either, but we're going to find out.
I don't know if that was even something they talked about in the... Surely I feel like it's all new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thought so too, but I'm not sure. I'll definitely look it up.
Yeah, interesting. But yeah, so this is one of the sister ships.
Yeah.
Should I start or finish the episode? I guess we'll finish the episode by me asking you which you prefer.
Oh no, you're gonna have me rank them?
Not rank them, but just compare one to the other.
Oh, you mean just sister ships. Oh my God! I don't even know if I could do that. It's funny.
No, I'm sorry.
I do have a clear. I have a clear winner out of the 5.
Yeah.
And then I have a second, and then
well, don't stress.
I'm going to stress.
Okay. It's okay.
I think I know. I think.
All right, and you have some time
hard,
to think
about it. It's hard.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Especially with sister ships, it's hard because they're the same except for with some theming differences. So
yeah, I could see that. One day we'll do a YouTube video or a podcast episode where how we do dining reviews.
Yeah.
We rank them all the restaurants by predetermined categories.
Yeah. And if I do that and I can think about it, that'll make it easier.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
Yeah.
Because I feel like then you really have time to prepare and sift through your memories.
Yeah, I just think with sister ships, it's so hard because they're so similar.
Right.
I'm going to throw out an example that's not about the one I just went on, but the Magic and the Wonder are sister ships, the oldest 2.
Right.
And the
OGs.
Yes. And the dining show, there's a dining show in both of them.
Right.
And one of them is Tiana and the other one is Rapunzel. And it's they're both epically awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just kind of a matter of which movie you like better, I guess. Because they're the layout's the same, the level of theming is the same. You know what I mean? They both involve a music show. Just one of them is a music show that's like the Snuggly Duckling scene in Tangled, and one's more of the jazzy Princess and the Frog. You know what I mean? So it's it's apples to apples.
Yeah, personal preference.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. And so this is similar in that Like the restaurants are the same, basically, just with slight differences.
Right, different. Did they have?
I will say right off the bat that a thing that I was kind of surprised by on these two ships, which are newer than the Magic and the Wonder, but older than the Wish, is that on the Magic and the Wonder and on the Wish, there's a like dinner show that's based on a super popular Disney animated movie, like Tangled, Princess and the Frog on the older ships, and then on the newer ship, Frozen.
Yeah.
Frozen 2, even, I think. Yeah, Frozen 2.
Yeah.
On this one, none. There's no dinner show based on a super popular Disney animated movie, and that's a bummer.
Interesting.
Bummer.
If you could add one, what movie would you want it to be?
Oh, how fun.
Isn't that fun?
Yes, it's super fun. I'm going to have to think about it. So what would you add?
Geez, there's so many.
You could do Little Mermaid, and then they do like some music like seafood. Is that too wrong? Have we discussed this before?
It's
the
like Coral Reef at Epcot.
Yeah, okay, maybe not. I take it back.
No, I honestly, I love it. I would have to do it.
Yeah.
I think Beauty and the Beast would be great.
Oh, Beauty and the Beast would be perfect.
Or
how have they not done that?
I don't know. I've never thought about it before until now.
There are restaurants with Beauty and the Beast touches,
right?
But there's not the dinner theater thing. Mm-hmm. Obviously, that maybe they were like, this is too obvious. I don't know. Like
maybe well, some of them have the Beauty and the Beast show based on the live action.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because some of them have the Tangled show.
Oh, right.
And some of them have the Frozen show. 2 different ships have the Frozen show.
Yeah. But it would also be cool to do Hercules.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe with Greek food.
Oh, Greek food. Yeah. Smart.
That would be awesome.
And a thing that they always do that I love and that is just genius is that, like, let's say, like at Tiana's, they've got mostly kind of New Orleans stuff.
Cajun.
Yeah, but then they'll have something that's really not, but they'll name it after a character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so that way if you're not into Cajun, you're not screwed because the menu's all stuff you don't like.
Well, they know their audience. They know
great.
that they have to appeal to all different kinds of eaters.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad they thought about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's nice that they consider all the different people who are encountering the menu.
Yeah, because I think if I were designing a Tiana restaurant, I would be so excited about the theming that I wouldn't think to include things that weren't New Orleans.
Right.
Because New Orleans is a great menu. You know what I mean? There's a ton of stuff. You don't need to go off menu, but like it's cool that they thought about that.
Yeah, I think that's something that separates them as well. As their attention to like the full family experience.
Yeah.
Because it's not always kids. Sometimes it's adults who just
have
strong preferences on food.
Totally.
But also, like when you're dealing with family menus, you want to have safe.
And I'm not just talking about the kids menu.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's the kids menu, which always has chicken fingers or whatever.
Course, yeah.
But on the adult menu too, there would be stuff that is not like whatever the specific theme is.
Yeah.
And I think that's cool. So I will say, like, if you're picking a cruise and you're picking a Disney cruise ship for your next vacation, and dinner theater is like an important part of it, that's something to consider. The dream and the fantasy don't have that. They have the animator's palette, which is also in the Magic and the Wonder.
Which is what?
It is like a dinner show, but it's on screens.
Right.
So, like, the restaurant is all black and white, like drawings and little toys are all on shelves and stuff like that. And then different things can happen depending on the night and depending on the ship. So, like, if you're in there for Pirate Night, all of these, like, screens have different pirate drawings and stuff like that. And if you're in there for a night where they've got a few things. We're in there for 2 different nights on this past one we've done. One of them was the Adventure with Crush, very similar to an Epcot.
Oh yeah. Turtle Talk. And you'll see Crush on the screens, and he goes around from table to table and interacts with you. That's cool.
If you're on a table that is next to a screen. kind of unfortunate for people that aren't.
Yeah.
But this time we were, so
Oh,
I was
cool.
thrilled with the experience. You know, I don't really like being called out, but since we were, it was basically, he was like just talking to our table, and maybe the couple tables around us were kind of watching to see what he was saying. It was okay. He wasn't making fun of anybody.
Good. Yeah, I can't
He just
imagine.
asked where we were from. Asked what our favorite food was, asked if they had stuff that sea turtles would like at the restaurant, like kelp.
Bad news, Crush.
Yeah. But so that was cool. And then while he wasn't going around from table to table, there were different Nemo drawings, like artist renditions, very similar to the Art of Animation Hotel. I kept accidentally calling it Art of Animation. I don't know that I can get my brain to stop doing that, because that was my first experience with this like black and white to color experience, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's the same. It's just in a dining room instead of on a hotel.
Same idea.
Yeah, black and white, and then stuff becomes color as the night goes on.
And then to further confuse things, isn't there an Animator's Palette restaurant
in Disneyland?
Disney's California Adventure?
Yeah.
So that makes for between Art of Animation, Animator's Palette, and Animator's
I think it's
Palette.
in a hotel in Disneyland.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of things.
And it's
basically named the same thing.
Yeah. And it's Animator's Palette on the boats, but
oh, gotcha.
But yeah, it is confusing. Exactly, that's what I mean. But it's such a smart concept that everybody loves.
Oh yeah.
That I see why they want to keep doing it.
I'm surprised there's not I guess there kind of is the at Hollywood Studios. I mean, we could talk about animation history at Hollywood Studios forever, but there was recently a show that was like, it wasn't a nighttime spectacular, it was just like a projection show that they would put on the Chinese theater.
Yeah.
And it was celebrating animation.
Yeah, and I would
say Disney animation history.
Right.
And it's not quite the same concept as those things, but I would like to see a concept similar to the experiences that you're talked about turned into like
a show
entertainment.
Do you feel like you've seen, I'm sure on video, the World of Color, and that feels similar to me also.
Yeah, it definitely like tells the story a little bit.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff like that, and I applaud them for that, because I think that hopefully people are still interested in the animation process, the going from pencil to what we see in a movie or whatever.
I think it's cool to celebrate the legacy of the company.
Yes.
I think people enjoy that because they bank so heavily on the nostalgia of you growing up with the movies.
Yeah.
That when you get older and you start to appreciate how they're made,
it's
cool to see that represented in like media in the park, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I love that you care as much about these movies that you made in the 90s or in the 80s or in the 50s as, you know, I do, my parents did, my grandparents did, you know?
Right. Hopefully it doesn't go the way of like the Hollywood Studios backlot tour kind of thing where people stopped caring, or it just started being done in a different way. So
yeah,
I mean, because it is being done in a different way now.
It is so unfortunate though to see it go from like the production of to the, you know, to just a more immersive kind of experience. Not that there's not room for both. It's just sad that one kind of had to be.
Yeah.
In this case, it seems like sacrificed.
Yes.
But I think it's cool that you get glimpses of that, like a tribute to the art form itself, which is very much the energy of Hollywood Studios as a tribute to the art form of filmmaking.
Yeah.
It's cool to see that concept applied to animation at these different experiences. So is that an experience? This like is Animator's Palette an experience you can do on the boat that you just did?
Yes.
And that's where you did the crush thing?
Yes. And
that's really cool.
And there was a second night, and that we had this on a different cruise as well, but we didn't have both on a different cruise. And it's because this one was longer.
Yeah.
Where at the beginning they give you like a placemat type thing, and it has you draw like a little person, and you write your name, and then they feed that into a machine, and then they make all the drawings kind of come to life and parade across the different screens.
Cool.
Very cool.
Interactive.
And then at the end, it says, like, artists, and then everybody's name, the way they drew it, is on the credits. It's adorable.
Cute.
Yeah.
What a good use of technology.
Yeah, exactly. So that
personalized interactive experiences like that are amazing, like memories for the guests too.
Yes.
I wish the parks like a lot of these cruise discussions turn into what we wish the company could take from the cruise line experience and apply to the park experience.
I agree, yeah.
But I think that's one that really stands out as like personalized little moments of magic.
Yes.
That is so valuable. And I feel like it, in the park, it would be cool to have moments like that.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing technology. You get to go home with the placemat that you drew, and it has like a stamp on it that says you're an artist. Yeah, it's cute. It's a cute idea. Keeps the kids entertained while you're eating.
Did you ever do the one in the like animation class in Hollywood Studios?
No.
Or it was MGM at the time.
I don't think so. Did you?
I don't think so, but I have done the one in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, right.
So, did you ever do that one?
No. It was always closed by the time I got there because I love Animal Kingdom at night, and they close that area over the Rafiki's by like 4. It's crazy.
Right, gotcha.
We did one with Bailey in Japan once, although I'm sure it's not the same.
I
don't know. It was drawing. It was teaching drawing.
Right.
I did one on the boat.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, a different one.
Oh, different from this?
One of the activities they do on the boats is learn to draw and then whatever character.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I learned to draw Socks, the robot cat from Lightyear.
Wow. Oh, because Lightyear had just come out at the time. Is that why?
No, it was this one.
Oh.
But it was Pixar Day at Sea.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. They did a lot of...
How was Pixar Day at Sea?
It was good.
What is like? I think people know what Day at Sea is. It's just a themed day on your cruise. Yeah. But what were the activities like?
Well, and this one was interesting because the other one that I've experienced is Marvel Day at Sea. Mm-hmm. I'd never got to experience Star Wars Day at Sea. I hope they bring it back now that the Star Wars Hotel is closed. I assume they took Star Wars Day at Sea away because they wanted anybody that wanted that experience to have to do the Star Wars Hotel, which was a cruise experience. I
think you might be onto something with that.
Yeah,
that sounds like it makes sense. Yeah,
I can just imagine them being like, "Oh, well, you love Star Wars." Yes, exactly. It's a conflict. It is.
Yeah, I get it.
But now it's gone. Now that that's dead, bring it back. I figure they've got all the costumes still. Like I just think it would be great. So the other one I did was Marvel Day at Sea, and it was like pretty truly just that one day was Marvel. But on this one, I feel like Pixar, and this makes sense because Pixar is really Disney. You know what I mean? Spilled over a lot.
Oh,
does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like on Marvel Day at Sea, for example, the nighttime show was a demonstration of something by Iron Man, and then it leads to a fireworks spectacular.
Cool.
Very, very, very cool show.
Okay.
On this one, our Pixar Day at Sea was on Thursday, but on Tuesday there was a fireworks show that featured The Incredibles.
Oh, interesting.
Right. And I'm looking at the itinerary and I'm like, why is this not on Thursday? And then Thursday there was just a Pixar dance party, which is more aimed at kids.
Yeah.
I went to see like the characters and the costumes and, dance and stuff, but truly it's more of a kid thing.
And there were no fireworks that
No
day.
Fireworks.
That is weird.
Very weird.
It's like they split up the Day at Sea.
It is like that.
That's interesting.
And multiple days had between Marvel and Pixar?
No, between the Incredibles fireworks display and
that
the Pixar dance party.
Yeah.
I guess obviously the fireworks, but
yeah, because first of all, if I had to pick a Pixar movie that's my favorite, it would be The Incredibles or Incredibles 2.
I do.
It's hard. It's very hard for me though. Pixar has a lot of my favorite movies.
Yeah, they've got great movies.
Yeah. And of The Incredibles, my favorite character is probably Jack, and this was a Jack heavy show.
Cool.
So that was fun. I just don't understand why they were split up. And then the dance party was just kind of the truly the costume characters dancing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And did they throw some Incredibles music in there to dance to? I guess not. It's not very dancey music.
No. And as a matter of fact, on the Pixar dance night, the Incredibles weren't even involved in that.
Well, they had already fulfilled their contractual obligations.
Yeah. But on other days that weren't Pixar Day, there were Pixar things going on, like Pixar trivia, Pixar Learn to Draw.
Right. So the cruise was vaguely Pixar themed.
Yeah, the whole cruise was vaguely Pixar themed. Yes, I thought it was interesting too.
I mean, honestly, I could see them wanting to maybe add in some one-off Pixar stuff here and there because people are excited about the Pixar Day.
Yeah.
But then to not have the big show on the Pixar Day feels a little anticlimactic.
I think so too. I just don't understand.
Is that how you experienced it as well?
Is that what I thought?
Were you wishing it was all the same day?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because you want to like have a like full-blown Pixar experience.
This is my Pixar Day.
Yeah. And on our Marvel Day, I was like overwhelmed with Marvel madness all day.
But that's how it should be.
Yes. So between the two, you didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you anyway.
Which one did you like better?
I picked Marvel. Yeah. Isn't that wild?
Well, just because of the format. And schedule.
During the day on Marvel Day at Sea, there was a Doctor Strange show, like a stage show.
Uh-huh.
That was cool. There was nothing like that.
Right.
There was no comparison.
That sucks. I could see maybe the Green Army Men from Toy Story.
Something.
Wheezy could have a show. You know, the penguin.
Like a
that'd be fun.
And it wasn't just that. Like that was a pretty big stage show, that Doctor Strange thing, you know, and he does like magic.
I'm picturing, I haven't seen it, but I'm picturing they have something vaguely similar, or did at least, at Avengers Campus, like a Doctor Strange demonstration.
Yes, except for this was bigger, and it had...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because it was on a big stage, and it had like backdrops, and I think some of them were definitely screens, but they were the screens were so impressive that like you could hardly tell it was. I mean, you would have been able to tell, but for me, I was like, "Is that a screen?" You know what I mean? Like,
I would have probably still been impressed because. Well, if you haven't ridden Tron yet, skip ahead for a second. But when you get to the part in the queue where it's all screens and then they're not screens and they're windows,
right?
I thought that was like, whoa, that's cool.
Yes.
So like some of them screens are impressive.
Well, and they're doing like magic and dimension shifting and stuff like that. So
that's cool. I just don't like over relying on the screen.
Well, I think there were some practical
magic, the movie.
Practical like backdrop stuff too for that. And in addition to that, there were like speakers, and there was like a USO singing in the lounge that was like Captain America kind of theme.
Right, I get it.
There was just a lot more for Marvel. Like there's no way you weren't knowing it was Marvel Day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Beginning to end Marvel.
Yeah, so I feel like that was better executed.
Okay, one of the things I was going to ask you about was your day at sea experience, so I'm glad you did. My next question, of course, you know, that I want to ask you is about the shows.
Okay.
How was your entertainment experience aboard this ship?
It was good. I think that the part that was that is a little disappointing for me is that there were 3 major like Broadway style stage shows, and I've already seen all of them on a different ship.
Oh no!
So I just don't.
I didn't realize that was happening.
Yeah,
this time.
I don't really understand with so many options that they have why they're having repeats.
Yes, I guess if it was gonna happen to anyone, it was gonna happen to you.
Well, yeah,
this is the last gem in your Infinity Gauntlet.
Exactly. Yes.
So like, if there was ever gonna be overlap, it would be yours. But I think it would be nice if there could be one.
But why?
Ship one show where it's not overlapping.
I just don't understand. It's not like they have 100 ships. They've got 5 ships. Right. Why can't they all have different shows?
Maybe
they have enough shows.
Right.
You know what I mean? I just don't understand that.
Maybe now that they're introducing a new show, the Moana show, maybe they'll do some swapping of what's on there.
Yeah, but still they would need to add a few more shows.
I would love for them to add a few more shows.
Yeah.
I could think of a few properties I would like them to make
for real, yeah. So that really confuses me, and I don't understand. Like
But I'm sure you still went.
I did go. I did go.
What did you see first?
What did I see first? Aladdin.
Oh, a classic.
A classic. We just saw that on the Wish.
Okay.
So,
is it the exact same production?
Yep. Yep. The genie character has some, I think, I'm guessing he's got some leeway to kind of joke, improvise. Yes. And he does that. So in that way, it was a little different.
I love that.
We did feel like there were some differences, but with there having been like, some time in between seeing the one and seeing the other, now I'm not sure.
And you only got to see it once.
Right.
It's not like the theme park shows where we see them.
Yeah.
We know them inside and out.
Right.
When you only see something one time, it's a little bit harder to remember and compare.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah. Afterwards, I said, was this a little different? And my family...
Vaguely.
Yeah, my family agreed that it probably was. But yeah, it's hard to say. I'm not going to like even mention anything.
But I'm sure the flying carpet scene was still fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It was nice. World. Well, the whole thing was fun because... What I really like about the show is that the genie is very funny. So, and he's like broken the fourth wall.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So he's talking to the audience.
Right.
And he's saying things like talking about the pool deck. You know what I mean? Like it's not
some nice cruise ship humor.
Yeah, he's outside of the being in this world.
Right.
Hard to explain.
No, I love it. That's how it was for years at the Hyperion Theater in Disney California Adventure. They had the Aladdin musical that ran in there, and the reason that it was such a hit with the locals was because of Genie's improvisation.
Yeah, okay. So then that makes sense. They just went for that same basic idea.
Yeah, and it's a great idea.
Great idea. Yeah.
Makes it feel more personal.
That was the best
part.
One of a
kind.
Yeah. But I mean, the whole thing was great. The singing was fantastic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, and then
immediately the next day was Frozen.
Oh, that's right. Frozen's on this one.
Yeah, I can't remember which ship I saw this on. I'm sure.
Oh, I don't remember which other one it's on.
Yeah.
But still,
Frozen... It might be Magic. It might have been the first one we went on. But yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah. How did you let it? So the big moment in that is the costume change.
Yeah, it went really well.
Oh, great.
Yeah, wonderful. And the cape flying away.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot. There's some other practical effects in that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. I think that one was probably exactly like the last one.
That makes sense.
Because there's no character doing improv.
Right.
Yeah. So
how was that's another one with the puppets, right?
Yes.
The human is on stage controlling a puppet.
For Olaf, you mean?
Yeah.
I think just Olaf, and then Sven is like, what is that, a puppet? Like he's, you know what I mean?
I'm trying to remember. I think it's a person inside of a puppet.
It's a person, and then like you see the person standing there, and then the Sven like head in front of body's in front of him, and he's clearly manipulating him, and then the Sven back part of his body is behind him.
Right.
So I think it's just one person,
right,
manipulating this giant puppet, I guess.
Big old puppet.
Yeah. But it's cool because it has the face that you expect from Sven.
Yeah.
And the expressions a lot of times.
Yeah, in the Broadway musical, sometimes they deviate aesthetically when it comes to the design of the characters. Like if you see the Lion King musical, none of them look like the characters in the movie. And if you see Frozen, they're like Sven is just a reindeer. He doesn't have like a cartoonish face.
I like the cartoonish face on Olaf and Sven. I think that
I think it was cool to have a different design just to show the different possibilities that could exist in the world.
Sure.
But I will say they did do for Frozen on Broadway and the tour in the West End, the Olaf puppet was pretty similar to what you see in the movie, which is kind of different from some previous Disney puppets where they like got creative, I guess.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that they at least had Olaf be pretty consistent. But he's operated the same way in Broadway as he is on the cruise line with the person and the.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It was a good show. Yeah.
No complaints.
No complaints.
Do they do snow in the theater?
They do.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
What more could you ask, really?
Right? They've always got something going on. Like, there's a lot of confetti. Maybe not in the Frozen one, but there's confetti, there's snow. They've got the whole, like, machine, I guess, that pumps whatever they want out. Bubbles.
They perfected the pumps back there.
Yeah, they got it.
That's awesome. And also, while we're talking about entertainment, we haven't spoken about the fact that they're doing a new Little Mermaid. Oh, yes, we did. We did talk about the fact that they're doing a new Little Mermaid show at Hollywood Studios while they're casting for it. It was the headline I saw.
Yeah.
So if you want to be...
I don't know that we talked about that on the podcast. I think just you and I talked about it.
The show?
Yeah.
I feel like it was in my New Year's. It was in my New Year's list.
Did we know about it that long ago?
Well. Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I believe you.
But I saw that they're casting for it, so if you want to be Ariel or Eric, go get a job. All right, are those the only shows you saw?
Yeah, no. There's one more Broadway style show that was at the end of the night or the end of the cruise.
3. Why did I think there are only 2? Okay, what's the third one?
And then there were a few variety acts, which I can come back to if you want. But the third one is called Believe. I have seen this at least one other time.
Okay.
And so on each of the ships, there's either Believe, I can't remember the name of the other one, but it's a similar type show where different characters wind up coming up and singing their song, like from like 12 different movies.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Montage.
For this one,
jukebox musical vibes.
Yeah. For this one, it was a little girl is talking to her dad and telling him that he needs to believe in magic and that would help him grow this plant that he's trying to grow. And he doesn't. And then the genie comes and goes through all these different, a montage of different like movies and songs to try to get him to believe in magic.
I think I would enjoy this.
Yeah, it was great. It was great because there's a lot of different stuff and some stuff that you don't see so much in the parks. There is Pocahontas.
Wow.
Yeah. There was Merlin singing his song. You know what I mean?
Weird.
Yeah. And then there's the ones that you do know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cinderella and Sleeping Beauty and Beauty and the Beast, I think, was in there. Not Little Mermaid in this one. Peter Pan. I'm sure I couldn't name all of them. And then on the other ships, there was another one where the little girl's nervous to go into middle school, and Peter Pan comes and shows her a montage.
I've seen a video of that one.
Yes. So they're really very similar. They just start off and end a little differently, but they have the same like middle
format.
Yeah, format. Yeah.
That sounds delightful.
Yeah, super cute.
Lovely.
Yeah. Then so that's 3 of the nights. One of the nights there was a juggler.
Oh.
Yeah, on a 7 night they're going to bring in some like variety type acts.
Gotcha.
So that hasn't happened on any of the other. Every other cruise I've taken with Disney has been 5 nights or less.
Right.
Then there wasn't really time for that. They just did their Broadway shows, and that was Pirate Night, and that was pretty much it.
So this is your first experience with like the intermittent cruise ship entertainment.
With Disney, it is. Yeah. But it is the same kind of stuff you would have on another boat, on another cruise line.
Right.
The juggler was also very, very funny.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like Bailey was like, really, we're going to go see this? And I was like, yeah, we're going to go see it, and we're going to find out if we like it.
That's the type of thing that I would be seeing on the cruise line as well. We're going to go see the juggler. What did you want to do? Yeah,
I know, exactly. What did you want to do? And he was so funny. It was great. And then there was a ventriloquist, which that one wasn't as much my cup of tea, but we went and gave it a shot.
I love puppets, but ventriloquist acts aren't always my favorite thing either.
I will give her that she is very, very talented.
Yeah.
You could not tell that, you couldn't see her mouth moving.
That's
she
awesome.
Clearly has this down because she's like having conversations with these puppets, and the speed in which she's switching from her voice to the other person's voice, and sometimes another voice and then back to her, like it's just so fast and well done.
Impressive.
I couldn't do it.
No.
But
I couldn't do it.
But it wasn't for me, it was my least favorite show, but I'm not saying it was bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just not for you. It's impressive. It's just
Yeah,
not for you.
yeah.
That's okay.
There was a comedian / magician, but he did his show in the D Lounge, which is a smaller venue that only seats like 100 and everybody could like walk around or whatever instead of the big theater. So I had nowhere to hide, so I didn't go to that one.
Yeah,
I know,
understand.
I know,
No,
but it's
you're trying
crazy.
to set yourself up for a good experience. I understand.
We like went back and forth about it because I was like, we should go. I want to experience everything, and then I would be like, is this going to ruin my whole trip? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know if magic is worth the anxiety.
It was anxiety for sure.
Yeah.
And both, if not all three of those variety acts also did an 18 and up show later in the night, which is cool for people that want to do that. Yeah. I didn't, but it's good for people. You know what I mean? It's good to have the option.
You shouldn't feel bad for not doing the magic show. Your Apple Watch shouldn't be giving you a heart rate warning when you're on vacation.
I didn't take it because I didn't want to hear it tell me that I haven't exercised in 7 days.
That's fair.
Yeah. I looked at it and I'm like, not taking you.
Yeah, you're not needed for this leg of the journey.
We're not going to talk about this. We're not going to talk about what I'm doing this week.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then there was a lot of we do a lot of trivia, but there was a lot of and it's super fun for me if that's your thing. I want a lot of trivia.
Yeah, if you're watching the visual version of the podcast on YouTube at the Neverland Navigation Co. YouTube channel, you can see that Morgan and family have won every medal.
Yeah,
have won a bunch of the activity medals.
Yeah, and then after a while, they were offering us some other stuff like a luggage tag and a pair of sunglasses because we already had all the medals. But if you're a fan, you know that trivia is my thing, and I'm posting trivia on Instagram all the time.
It's part of the brand.
It's part of who we are.
So you had to represent.
Yeah, I had to represent exactly.
Exert your dominance.
Yes.
Congratulations on all of your victories.
Thanks. And some of the really fun ones were ones we didn't win. And that was it, like after the show, but right before dinner. So the show is we did second dinner. So you either get the early dinner, which is at 6 or 6 something, or the second dinner, which is at.
And you're assigned a dinner slot, right?
Or you can pick if you pick early enough. Like if you book early enough, if you pick early enough.
Good travel tip.
Yeah. Yes. If you have a travel agent helping you, then they can help you pick too. But for us, we were assigned second seating, but then chose to keep it because a lot of reasons. For us, the way the schedule works out, it was better to have that time in between lunch and dinner so that we could get hungry again. Yeah. Totally. I want to be eating nonstop.
As much as I can.
Yeah.
Not as much as I can, but as much as I feel like it.
Yes, exactly.
You know?
Right. And the food is so good that like that's all I wanted to do. So I didn't want to be getting to dinner and not feeling hungry yet. So that's how we chose to do it. Nice. So we were seeing a 6 o'clock show and it would go from like 6 to 7 or 6:15 to right around there. Right. Okay. And then dinner wasn't until 8:15. So a lot of times they had a trivia at like 7:30 that was, in one of the lounges. So it was for adults only, or 18 and up. I guess that is adults only. Anyway, and it was like music trivia.
Oh, cool!
Like 80s music trivia, 90s music trivia, 2000s music trivia. But the people in there would get so like pumped up and singing songs and like dancing around. It was so fun.
Awesome. So I can imagine
that was like our every night in between the show and the dinner. And they were going up from 80s to 90s, 2000s, 2010s.
Oh, cool.
They did a TV music trivia. They did a movie music trivia. I think those were all the ones that we did.
I would love to do those.
We didn't win those as much, if at all. I'm thinking not at all.
But you're straying out of your expert field.
Yes, yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
You're trying something. You're dipping your toe.
Yeah, but like the dancing around, and then when the answers come up, singing it, and people everybody was like loud and excited. Yeah, it was fun.
That's good energy. Sometimes you want a more chill activity to do, but like as it's getting late in the night, and you're like breaking up your activities, I feel like that energy and that camaraderie is like,
yeah,
it lifts you up. It's
yeah,
good.
yeah. And going to some of the game shows too was really fun.
Oh,
Like I'm not the kind of person that wants to go be one of the participants in a game show and have a whole room of people watching me.
yeah.
But to watch other people do it that want to be doing it is cool. There was one night we watched, it was like what's it, like the Newlywed Game.
Oh, yeah.
And they had a couple that was newlywed, a couple that had been together for 40 years, and a couple that was kind of in the middle.
Okay.
And
sounds fun.
yeah, it was hilarious, really,
Yeah.
really funny. And then that one was an adult only, but they also had ones for families. Like they did an Inside Out memory game that was for families, and it was similar where they would ask a kid a question and they'd write it down, and then they'd ask the rest of the family, "What do you think he answered?" And is that kind of thing.
Same idea.
Yeah, same idea.
I like
idea.
it.
Yeah, fun.
Those are fun activities.
Yeah, I like watching that stuff.
Yeah,
super fun.
Yeah, nice light entertainment.
And then, of course, they did Jack Jack's Diaper Dash on Pixar Day at Sea Day.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That adds up.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's no fireworks show.
Oh, it's better than a fireworks show.
Okay, so ranking
it's like my favorite thing.
Number one, Jack
is baby racing. I know, it sounds crazy if you haven't watched it, but it is so entertaining and cute.
I have yet to break into this fad.
Okay, well, you should. Have you watched one on YouTube?
No.
There.
What do you think I'm YouTubing?
God. Okay, we'll just show you video of it. It was fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if the baby, it's a crawling baby contest, and if the baby stands up and walks, then they're disqualified. But so people are, and they're like joking around about how they can only race babies because they're over international waters and stuff like this. And people are like cheering for a specific baby, and they're really like sitting there like, what?
I know we've talked about this at least once on the podcast, and I just want to make a compilation of every time you try to explain.
It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain.
No, it's okay. I can understand how in the circumstances of like the
you would think it was funny. It's hilarious and cute.
Yeah, because babies are cute.
Yeah, it's like think of puppy racing.
I don't.
Okay,
no,
well,
you're right. You're right. Puppies are cute. Babies are cute. They race.
And neither of them do what you tell them to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Which is what's funny about it.
Oh, those puppies. Oh, those babies.
Yeah.
They're at it again.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to have to make this one a two-parter.
Oh, that's so unlike us. Yeah,
there's just so much to talk about.
7 days of cruise ship adventure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that will
can't be contained in an hour.
Right. We need more time. So join us next week for part 2 of our cruise line adventure. And in the meantime, feel free to subscribe to the show here on listening platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We'd love it if you subscribed and left us a review. That would be so cool.
Yes, if you leave us a review, that would make our day.
Yeah.
We also have an Etsy shop called Neverland Navigation. Yeah. If you send a message and just tell us your favorite ride, or if you're going on a cruise, what cruise you're going on, if you're taking a family trip, we will talk to you, send like some ideas back and forth, and get you some perfect shirts.
Yeah, perfect. That sounds awesome.
And they're super soft and comfortable. I like breathable. We do quality over quantity.
Yeah, I love my Neverland Navigation shirts. They're my favorite shirts I've got.
Yeah, me too.
Also, we've got a visual version of the podcast. If you want to see our smiling faces discussing Disney Cruise Line, then you can find that at the Neverland Navigation Co. YouTube channel, or visit us on Instagram or TikTok at Neverland Navco.
Yeah. Does that cover it?
I think that covers it. And until the next leg of our voyage, we'll see you on our next adventure.
On our next fantasy.
Oh, right.
Fantasy, the boat.
Yeah. Right.